and I get a lot of questions from investors from all over, especially South America, Colombia, Argentina, Chile. And I hear this type of loan, the DSCR. Can you tell us a little bit about this loan? What are the requirements to apply for this type of loan?
Sure. This is a very popular loan right now. Is debt service cover ratio. Basically, the rent that the property, the income that the property is producing, if that covers the mortgage, then you're good. You can buy the property. You need 30% down payment, and you do need a good credit to be able to buy with this type of loan. And when I say good credit, it's a score of over 700.
Excellent.
No documentation. That's it. The property is the most important thing. The only thing they need to show is credit and down payment and closing cost.
Welcome to my podcast, Cafecito con Alexandra. Today we have a very special guest and a longtime friend. Her name is Angela Hoyos from Sunvest Mortgage. Welcome and thank you so much for being with us today.
Hi, Alexandra. Thank you so much for inviting me. It's a pleasure to be here.
Thank you so much for being with us today. Can you please tell us more about your company and yourself?
Sure. I've been in the mortgage business for 20 years. I started exactly 2005. And I love what I do. I love helping people achieve their dream of being homeowners. And I love numbers. I've been in financing all my life. So I've seen it all in this business.
Thank you so much for sharing with us. And let me start with the first question. What is a buyer or investor needed in order to get pre-approved? What is the first step or the first thing they need?
Well, the first thing they need is the desire to become a homeowner. Let me tell you, a lot of people think that they cannot afford to buy a house or they cannot be homeowners, but it's because they don't prepare. They don't even know where to start or what to do. So first, when someone wants to buy a house, usually they will contact you, the realtor, and they say, Alexandra, we want to buy a house. What's the next step? Then you are going to tell them, call Angela at Sunvest Mortgage because she's going to get you pre-approved and she'll let me know how much you can afford. So when they call me, I can ask questions if they are first-time home buyers, what type of work they do, if they have some money saved for down payment, and what's their credit.
Excellent. And what are the type of loans available for those first-time buyers and investors?
We have quite a wide range of loans for first-time home buyers or primary residents. We do have the conventional loans. We do have the FHA loans backed up by the government. And we also have other loans, non-qualified mortgage loans for people that basically don't qualify for the government loans. Also, we have investment loans for investors. If someone is willing to buy a property as an investment, we have that loan. We also have loans for foreign nationals, all kinds of loans.
And excellent. And what are the requirements, let's say, for a first-time buyer and the investor? I know there's two different type of loans, but what are the main requirements?
Well, basically for first-time home buyers or primary residents, if they have a job, that's not negotiable. They have to have a job. They have to have income, credit, decent credit. I'm not saying perfect credit, but decent credit. If they have a little bit of money saved, then they're probably ready to buy. What are the requirements? 2 years of employment history, 3.5% minimum down payment for FHA, and basically 620 or 600 credit score. We can work with that on an FHA loan. And for investors, what they need is the property. The property is what really is important for an investor because the type of loan for investors is based on the income producing property. And that's when you come in place. It's very important that you guide them to buy the property that actually is a good investment, and then I'll do the loan. They will need 30% down payment, and it's a very simple loan for investors.
Excellent. Yes, we work with investors as well. And I get a lot of questions from investors from all over, especially South America, Colombia, Argentina, Chile. And I hear this type of loan, the DSCR. Can you tell us a little bit about this loan? What are the requirements to apply for this type of loan?
Sure. This is a very popular loan right now. Is debt service cover ratio. Basically, the rent that the property, the income that the property is producing, if that covers the mortgage, then you're good. You can buy the property. You need 30% down payment, and you do need a good credit to be able to buy with this type of loan. And when I say good credit, it's a score of over 700.
Excellent.
No documentation. That's it. The property is the most important thing. The only thing they need to show is credit and down payment and closing cost.
I hear that in order to qualify for the DSCR loan, then I have to find the right property that is, let's say, a rental property. So the loan is based on the income that the property is producing. So it's not necessarily has to do with the income of the buyer or the investor. In this case, it's about the income that the property is producing.
Correct. The lender will only see the income of that particular property they are buying, whether they have other properties or income from other things or business. We don't care about that. Only the income that the property is producing.
So what if the income of the property doesn't cover the mortgage?
Then you have to come up with more down payment.
Okay.
I mean, we can go as low as 0.75 of the income. But of course, if the ratio is 1-on-1, let's say, if the property rents for 3,000 and your full mortgage payment is 3,000, then you are 1-on-1. If it's less than that, we can go up to 0.75, but the interest rate is going to be a little bit higher. There's always hits for, when you don't cover the full rent or the full mortgage. And when I say mortgage, is not only principal and interest, it's everything. Principal and interest, taxes, insurance, homeowners association if they have one.
Right, all the expenses of
Correct.
the property, taxes, insurance. Okay. So this is an excellent program for investors, whether they're from the US or international buyers and investors. It's an excellent program, very easy to apply. What would be just your recommendation for someone that's thinking about buying for a first time or is an investor and they want access to capital or financing? What is your recommendation for those clients?
Well, there are two different type of buyers. The first-time home buyers, people buying your home as a primary residence, my recommendation is start getting educated on what you have to do. Basically, know your credit. If you don't know your credit, you can find it in a credit card or they usually give you the credit score. Keep it strong if it's good. But if it's not as good, then work on it because there are many things people can do to work on their credit. The second thing is save. Save as much as you can because if you're planning on buying a home, don't get into debt. Don't change your car often. Don't get credit cards because that's gonna hurt your capacity, to purchase a property. And the most important tip that I can give you is call us. Call us because they don't have to know it all. They just need to know who to call to guide them through the process. So if someone calls Alexandra that wants to buy a house, Alexandra tell me, okay, talk to these people, qualify them, and then I can guide them. If they're ready, fine, perfect. If they're not, I can at least start preparing them to be ready for the next 3 months, 6, maybe next year. But start.
Yes, that is correct. I always suggest to my clients, please start early, 3, 6 months, sometimes earlier, because that's how long it takes to get pre-approved or to get your documents in order, your taxes. So it's very important also to talk to an expert and someone that has the experience. In this case, Angela has all the experience in mortgages, over 20 years of experience. I have over 20, 40 years of experience in real estate and investments. So it's very important to talk to a professional, someone with experience. That is very important. And to see if you qualify for this type of programs. Can you please share with us a success story from a client or an investor, first time buyer? Any of the success stories that we have closed and we've been successful
Sure.
getting the mortgage done and closing the sale?
Well, one thing that I just remembered is one of our clients, she was a nurse and she had a gap of employment. Usually we're going to ask for 2 years, last 2 years of employment. Well, this lady, she was a nurse, she graduated, and she had a gap of employment for 2.5 years. And she just went back to work last month, basically. And everybody told her, no, you cannot buy a house because you don't have 2 years of work history. And so I started talking to her and asking her questions. Okay, why did you stop working at the hospital 3 years ago? And she said, because I had a baby, and the baby had special needs. So I decided to stay with my kid at home. And while I stayed with my kid, I did my master's degree. And I was like, perfect. Send me your diploma. Send me your transcripts from school. Write me a letter. Explain why you stayed with your kid and the condition he had, and you just went back to the workforce. Well, we got it approved. We got it approved. So those are exceptions that the guidelines are going to tell you no, but when you talk to someone with experience, they know there might be something that you can explain and it will go through. So working with the team makes a big difference with an experienced realtor, an experienced loan officer, with a good title company. It does make a difference in the process.
Yes, it's definitely a team work and team effort. Very important that you have the right professionals for the financing or for real estate. I want to thank Angela for being with us today and sharing all your experience and your knowledge. We thank you so much. Can you please tell us how to contact you?
Yes, we have an office, but I am always available. My phone number is 561-301-7412. The information, you can find it here. I have a team in my office, very professional, and we are willing to help you get pre-approved and get you ready to buy the house.
Excellent. If you are thinking about buying a property or investment property, second home, please give us a call. Contact Angela or myself for a free consultation. I want to invite everyone to my next event. We're going to have a seminar, an investment seminar on September 4. Please don't forget to register. I'm going to share the link here. Don't forget to register. You don't want to miss this event. It's an investment seminar, September 4 in Boca Raton, so don't miss this event.